Hey everyone, welcome to today's video. This is gonna be a follow-up to the video that I made yesterday about Nio's delivery numbers. If you didn't see that video, you can see that Nio reported their last month of Q2 and they had 21,209 deliveries for the entire month of June, which actually represents 98% increase year over year. They also managed to have 57,373 deliveries in the 3 months ending in June, which also represents a healthy 144 increase year over year. Now, if you also know that Nio had their guidance of they had the earnings support by early June and for the previous quarter, and they guided actually for 54 to 56,000 cars, and they managed to beat it by 57,373. Not a huge beat, but you know, we take every win that we can get, and Nio has been kind of not been able to beat their own guidance quite a few times over the past, let's say, 2.5 years. Before that period, they were quite actually conservative, but I think over the past 2.5 years, they kind of way over promised, especially the CFO. And there's some rumors that the CFO is gonna leave now, so I think that's a good move for the company if that ends up to being true. I think it's Marcel, the guy on YouTube that's been following Nio for quite a while, so I've been following him myself. So yeah, I quite like his content. Yeah, so continue on this video, we can see one of Nio's main competitors, obviously in China, is Tesla. And I think it's quite interesting because, for example, this guy at Twitter, Mojo, he's saying that Tesla's deliveries of 17.4 thousand cars last week. It's a big number, but the interesting part is that they still need 31,500 cars the week after, which is the week that we just got numbers for. And how many cars did they deliver, Tesla? 14,100. So yeah, they will definitely not be able to surpass their first half of deliveries of 2023 this year. So they will go actually down, let's say 5 to 10% compared to last year. So not good for Tesla in China, especially considering that they've given quite a few incentives to, with the zero interest loans for Tesla purchasers, the people who buy Teslas. So I think, maybe this is the start of the, let's say, the end of the this extremely high pressure situation where Tesla kind of as market leader cuts the prices and then everyone else has to follow suit. Maybe, with Tesla now, essentially done every trick in the game that they had, and now they need to hold some kind of margin. So I don't expect Tesla to go out there to be more aggressive than they've been now. So I think in the long term is a good sign for Nio and the rest of the competition in China. We can also quickly look at the Nio's price target on tip ranks, and with average price target right now is around 6.19. So this is a 40% upside potential. And if you're following me over the past, let's say, year, you know that I'm very now that Nio, I haven't always been bullish on Nio, and with Nio it's kind of depending on let's say month to month, and it's simply due to the simple fact of their deliveries. So you can see the green bars is 2023 deliveries per month, and you can see how, like, by Q2 last year the stock was in a really dire spot. Obviously part of the reason was the new 2023 update models, so people kind of put off orders and waited for the updated models in May and June, and at the same time they have some of the I think they only were selling a few number of cars, or let's say a few number of models, because a lot of them were updating for 2023 model year. But there was other problems as well. But you can see that it's Nio's numbers 2023 was kind of up and down. 2023 looks to be right now a bit more like stable growth. It's not like up and down as much. I mean, it's up quite a lot, to be honest, from the beginning of the year. We can also look at the weekly registrations. We can just quickly see that the price of lithium again is going down. It's great. We can see that over the past 5 years it's been going down, and it looks like I was a bit scared, you know, let's say 1 month ago, that maybe the price of lithium carbonate would start to go up from here, because it was quite a low price already at that time. But right now it looks like it keeps going down even again. So this is definitely helpful for the margins of all electric car manufacturers. But going back to this graph, you can see now on our 7-week average, you can see that the trend line for the 7-week for Nio in the green, Xpeng in the blue, and LiAuto in the gray. LiAuto, as usual, they're just going up. I mean, this company is insane. Nio is like, sometimes there's a bit of, you know, a push in the end of the months, which we've been talking about over the past couple of months now, that, you know, they seem to deliver their best, the 2 best delivery weeks by end of each month, and the first 2 weeks are usually not that great. But yeah, so you can see the trend is still up. I mean, they're averaging around 5,000 deliveries over the last 7 weeks, and I definitely consider that like a great improvement. You know, 5,000 deliveries on average over the last 7 weeks. If they hold this pace, that's a very healthy 275,000 car deliveries per year. So I definitely like this number. Xpeng is doing okay. I wouldn't say they're doing great, because they had quite high expectations, and I also did. You know, the white bar here is representing Xpeng, and these were like my expectations by early this year and let's say late last year. And I think they will most likely not achieve anywhere near close that 220,000 cars. But Nio, I think is possible. I think if you watched the video yesterday as well, I think it's really, really possible. Now, before we finish the video, let's have a look at the, you know, my rough estimations for Q2. So, you know, this number of 2,373 million in revenue, I got that from the Q2 outlook, which they gave in last earnings. So you can see here that their total revenue should be around 2.297 and 2.373. Now that was, you know, with a guidance of, let's say, you know, 54,000 to 56,000. With now, you know, with the fact that they delivered 57,373, so they beat it a bit by around 1,400 cars. I think, you know, it will improve the revenue a bit. Maybe I think we should say that at the very least 2.4 billion, 2.445 maybe even. But if we, you know, we go with these rough numbers, and then vehicle sales and then other sales, we know that cost of sales is around this much in my estimations. This would mean that the gross profit would be essentially 3 to 4 times more than the previous quarter, which is great, because this also gives an indication that, you know, with each, let's say, 70 to 80% in delivery increase, they managed to increase their gross profit at the bare minimum by 3x. So that's great. The gross margin should double or around thereabouts. Vehicle margin should go in the mid double digits. I think research and development and SG&A will be around these kind of levels. And yeah, I think net loss will be severely cut down, maybe by 150 million. But I would love to see this number be closer to 500 million or even less. But I mean, 570 I think is good, because they still have, I think, 6.3 billion on cash on hand. So if they manage to, you know, by Q4 get close to 300 to 400 million net loss, it's gonna give them a run rate of, you know, like 10 to 12 quarters. So that's like 3 years, 3.5 years. So yeah, I think these numbers look good, and I'm really, really looking forward now to the full month of July deliveries. I think it's gonna be possible that Nio will manage to deliver, let's say, 22,000. You know, you shouldn't expect that each single month will be another record, but I think we should be around 20,000 again. There doesn't seem to be a whole lot of rumors about the lack of demand in China right now, and the Chinese economy seems to be, most people are expecting the second half of 2024 to be stronger than the first half. So everything looks more stable, I would say. I wouldn't be surprised if they set another record, maybe let's say 22 or 23,000 in July. But I'm very happy with around 20,000. So I went with 21, but you know, 20, 21, even 19 is great, because that's still around average of well above 20,000 on the past, let's say, 3 months. And that gives a bit of stability in July, maybe August, around 20,000 again, and maybe also September. But then I do expect quite an increase by October, November, and December. Yeah, I think that's gonna do it for today. So yeah, thank you for watching, and please like the video, subscribe and comment, and see you in the next one.